Hello, I'm Luke Neller, and I'd like to welcome you to the 74th episode of Joys of Tanking. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to load up World of Tanks, select your favorite vehicles, and play along with us each show. Or track up the old easy chair and enjoy a relaxing 15 minutes while we show you some of your favorite masterpieces. For those who've been with us for a while, thank you very, very much for inviting us back for another year of tanking shows. I'll tell you what, let's just get straight to it.
Let's start off with a replay from the North American region. Kilgard and Horatio Max 3 have been given a very favourable match, so this better be very impressive. The legendary Tiger 2. Old in all senses of the word, but the tank is still reliable and dangerous in the right hands. The Defender is quite the opposite. New, hard-hitting, well-armoured, but somewhat unreliable. Heading into the town is a logical move, but enemy scouts have already spotted our heroes. The enemy T-34 platoon is here as well. This is going to be a tough fight. The air rail makes a very careless peek and is promptly sent back to garage. However, the situation is already desperate. Greens are 4 tanks down and the town is surrounded. First T-34 tunnel visions and is dealt with, but that's only the start. There's more coming. Incredible! Brawl 1 and our heroes barely have a scratch on them. But the base has fallen and the last ally is about to die. Ruined! GG! Saved! And with less than a second left on the cap, Kilgard connects with the decap. And just to be sure, Horatio decaps again. One by one, the Reds fall to accurate fire, and where armour failed, the HP pool made all the difference. Now all that is left is to find out who will be honoured with the 7th kill. Or not. Artie starts the cap and I guess there's no point in chasing. Just spread out, ensure the capture is complete and secure the game. GG. Brilliant teamwork and a textbook example on how to use your HP. Well played Kilgard and Horatio Max. You are our brothers in arms of the week. Hopping over to the EU server, our steel wall of the week is an IS-7? Maybe an ST-1? Carnarvon? Really? Well, I see you, lol. Surprise me. Heading towards the centre hill on this picturesque map is usually a good idea. Carnarvons have good gun depression, but I can't see how this turret will hold up against tier 10 guns. Oh boy, that's a T110E3. Not something you want to see. But it bounces as well. Lucky? Or is there something else at work here? Since the long-range fire doesn't seem to be working, a 1390 attempts a YOLO run. Although it escapes the daring maneuver, going so fast means only one shot of damage in a repair kit used. The E3 is clearly getting frustrated, but that's another bounce. This time off the upper front plate. What is going on? Surely this is the end, with the Defender pushing aggressively, a 90 flanking with a full clip, and an E3 angrier than ever. There's no way I see you LOL is surviving this. Although it's easy to forget, but there are other tanks on your team, as allies come to the rescue. The Defender is focused down, the 90 legs it, and the E3 is forced to switch target. All for the meager price of 240 HP. Bargain. I'm convinced this E3 is considering the old Alt F4 uninstall treatment after this performance. And this 90's not having a good day either, but ICU is able to solve that problem by deleting that little rascal with a tidy tracking shot. Looking at the damage tally, it seems ICU's been taking damage rather than dishing it. However, farming on a Type 4 M1 and a T10 is just what the doctor ordered. I'm making notes on how to play the Carnarvon here. And finally, it's time to send this E3 back to the garage. He might have just killed our friend, but that leaves him exposed and on reload. In other words, a smoking wreck. Also, why not bounce a side shot from that T-32, just for show? Easy. And for that impertinence, I see you and the team close it and put it down. I have to admit, I wasn't expecting anything like that at the start of this game. But 6,700 damage dealt, 6,000 blocks, and another 2k assistance on top of that. I don't know what you did, I see you, lol, but those bounces were nothing short of a miracle. You are our Steel Wall of the Week. From the hills and forests of Westfield, we switch to the sandy dunes of El Halluf. Our hero is called Maximov996, who probably forgot his caps lock was enabled when choosing his nickname. But never mind that, there's a battle to be had and a team to be carried. Straight away, our hero heads to a very strong position overlooking a likely enemy route, while doing some scouting too. Remember this one, folks, it's very effective. After waiting patiently for a minute, the siren goes off, but it's an encounter, so there's no chance of that working. Aha! The first enemy tank shows up, and it's almost a disaster as the Oho's shot flies just overhead. That could have been it. Startled, Maximov empties the clip in the general direction of the Oho, connecting only two. Shake it off, there's a battle to be won. One reload later, and it's time for this tortoise to feel the sting. Another 2 shots with nothing in return. Ouch! Great play by the tortoise, making an unexpected return, punching a hole straight through the weak turret of our 1390. It's worth noting this position is RT safe, provided you stay close to the rocks. Something much needed considering there's 3 enemy RT on the battlefield. Time to empty this clip and get away. Peeking against heavy tanks is not what a 90 excels at. Beautiful tracking shot of this IKV eliminates it from the game. A loaded drum, but one look at the minimap shows that the situation is desperate. The Reds control the map, closing in from all directions with a 4-tank advantage. This will require flawless play to win. The AMX 1390 just cleared our back line, so this is for them! Or not? Ruined! Saved! Unfortunately, our TDs in the north are still falling fast. Better help, but wherever Maximov isn't, seems to collapse. Some long-range support snags the Scorpion G, although that tortoise will need some luck that Maximov just doesn't have today. This Spick, however, is a different story. Ouch! Where did that come from? T-28 prototype surprise attack? Today is full of surprises. Team morale is in the toilet as Maximov repositions to catch the T-28. Success! But enemy RT isn't having any of it and is ready to support. The Spick reveals itself going for our T-30 and needs to be dealt with. Surprise, mother! What now? Is hunting down RT the best idea? Being spotted equals the focus of 3 artilleries otherwise? First common RT spot? Nope, not here. Aha! There you are! GW Panther is spotted and quickly dealt with. The cap isn't worth worrying about just yet, but it does reveal where 2 enemies are. And there's number 2! Dealt with swiftly. But the remaining RT and the Challenger have decided to push into green spawn and force our T-30 into a bad position. That's the last ally gone. It's all up to Maximov now. Despite some good long-range fire, the situation looks grim. 3 enemies remain, that Oho from the start, but worst of all, only 6 shells left. Can this be done? RT is spotted, but Maximov holds fire, instead parking behind this happy little tree, providing cover and prevents our hero from getting spotted in return. Masterful play. But starting to reload just as the Challenger shows up, unlucky. A brave rush into the cap surprises another Challenger. However, it required 2 of the 4 shells left and only 20 seconds remaining. It is not to be. The somehow elusive Oho never shows up and the game ends as a draw. A heartbreaking draw. Maximov tried, but despite 10 kills and impressive damage, victory still evaded him. Maximov! You are a heartbreak of the week. Next up is Duck of Death on everybody's favourite map, Paris. I guess our hero got bored of his AMX-40 and took out their Super Conqueror for a spin. Our ferocious duckling is attempting to 3-mark this fantastic British beast that has formidable frontal armour and a reliable gun. Note, we advise any viewers on a budget to look away now, as Duck seems to have silver to spare, although I doubt for much longer. Fighting in the usual heavy tank corner while staying hull down yields great results. You know what? Roll montage! Thanks to penning 11 out of 11 and one fancy ammo rack on the Type 5, our hero is already up to 5,000 damage with only one IS-7 shell dealing any damage to our Duck of Death. With an overwhelming force, the bridge is secured and now it's time to face the mouse. But back-to-back pens have reduced the HP buffer for the Super Conk. The only failed penetration here comes due to allies being good meat shields. Next up are a couple of dangerous TDs. All of them can end our hero's game with one shell, but it's hard to keep your nerve as 7 steamrolling tanks are approaching fast. Both miss their shots, sealing their fates. Duck goes for gold and pushes through the Reds like a knife through butter. This verbal of tanks is working well together. Goes to show that even in World of Tanks, everybody needs a friend. A Batchat going full speed is no problem for our hero and provides a top gun on top of an already impressive 8,500 damage. Another TD. This E4 is facing the wrong way and is quickly perma-tracked so it can't fire back. Oh, and just you wait 140, your time will come too. Another 2 tanks caught between a rock and a hard place. Duck of Death has been on the front shooting non-stop from minute 1. Even the ammo count is getting low. Last 2 enemy tanks left. Such was the pace of this game that enemies defending the other flank did not even take a shot. After only 6 minutes of the match, the last enemy tank is forced into a corner and eliminated. What a game! Final count? 12,300 damage, a record for this show. What's even more impressive for this achievement? It's 10,000 damage more than anyone else on his team. This Duck of Death is clearly Hellspawn. What a game. And now for the finale, the best replay of the week. The match is a Himmelsdorf encounter starring the Big Bang in his T-44-100. While the matchmaking of this battle has favoured the Big Bang, the tank itself can be best described as meh, and Himmelsdorf does not favour squishy medium tanks. Spawning on the bottom of the hill, Big Bang decides that a quick push down the rails is more valuable than losing time climbing the castle. Ouch! A quick spot by an AMX 1375 results in some early damage taken, and one more shot from the enemies on the hill. Not a great start. A bit over 2 minutes in, and our hero is already down below half HP and in a bad position. Shots start connecting with small Reds in front, but there's also a lot of misses. Like this easy shot on the AMX is instead planted straight into the ground. Okay, stop, wait, is this the correct replay? You sure? Okay. With some help from allies, the Hellcat ends up a smoking wreck. The 1375 is dealt with, and the Dicker Max fails to escape. At least now, maybe, we're able to play a more dominant role. Or not. Even though the Borsa gives up the ghost, that one shot taken in return means Big Bang is now effectively a one shot for most of the enemy team. Even worse, the score is not looking good at all. Being isolated isn't good for your health, as this IKV finds out. In the meantime, the Reds have swept through the south, and now the odds of winning are bleak. The Big Bang, if you're holding back, now's the time to step it up. Picking off the T-44 is a good start, but holding here is risky. A fighting withdrawal is executed well. New strategy: to pick off any lone enemies before they can consolidate. Yikes! This arty shell removed even the slightest chance of surviving a shot. Oh no, that's a full HP OI. Fortunately, the angle is just right, absorbing the AP shell into the tracks. Understanding reload times, the Big Bang takes 2 and moves forward just as the KV-3 shot flies overhead. What the? Gotta keep moving. That KV-3 will be pointing its gun this way very soon. Quick, get the jumbo before it shoots! Whew. Run, Forrest, run! The KV-3 arrives a second too late again. But where to go? Maybe set a trap for the KV-3. Doesn't look like it's coming. Let's move. Whoa! The A-43 turns up a second too late to catch the Big Bang, looking the wrong way. I can't believe how many of these moments are in this replay. Shotgun RT tries its luck, as does the A-43. Both miss and both are eliminated. The dream of Kolobanovs is still alive. After some maneuvering, this T-150 is spotted in a very unusual attempt to climb the hill. Take the freebie, Big Bang. 2 remain. The cap is started, and it must be the OHO, as the KV-3 was spotted climbing the hill. So right now we know they're split. Let's give it a go. Some solid pokes based on repositionings puts the OHO low. Gotcha! The bluff pays off, and now it's 1v1. However, despite being stock, the KV-3 is still at full HP, and only 1 HE shell is enough to end the dream comeback. Big mistake, KV-3! Why on earth would you go to cap? I guess to draw out our hero? Well, your wish is my command. A tracking shot, and with the KV-3's turret still behind the building, it's unable to shoot back. This is our chance! Firing as fast as the loader can work, the KV repairs its track, but the Big Bang goes all in. You can see the tremble in the hand. All or nothing, one shot to decide it all. Yes! The shell punches straight through the side, whilst the KV waited for the perfect shot. Victory. I don't know how I should feel about that game. So many moments seemed pure luck, and others pure skill. I didn't expect 6,500 damage, 12 kills, and a Kolobanovs from 36 HP. Such a dramatic game deserved to be the best replay of the week, but also maybe the luckiest replay of the week, the Big Bang?
And that's it for this week. A wild ride indeed. But let's take a moment to calm ourselves and to remember we don't make mistakes, only happy little accidents. From all of us here at Best Replays of the Week, I'd like to wish you happy tanking and RNG bless, and I'll see you next week.